at the hands of my mother.
Oh, okay.
Especially the one time that my mom stabbed my father with a envelope opener. It was a metal one, but literally stabbed him through the palm of his hand and stuck him to the kitchen table.
Queen.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Delete That, the show where we say the things we probably shouldn't but do anyway.
And then immediately regret them, but never delete them because growth.
I'm Josh, your resident pop culture junkie and family trauma survivor, fresh off a weekend I did not emotionally prepare for.
And I'm Courtney, your favorite gamer girl with questionable taste in men and strong opinions about everything.
And today we're diving into some heavy but necessary stuff, like what happens when you reconnect with a strange family as a grown ass adult. It's a mix of healing and chaos today, so buckle up. This is episode 4 of Delete That.
Let's get into it.
So, like we do every episode, we are opening with our weekly faves in music. This week, I am listening to Sleep Theory, not to be confused with last week's Sleep Token. Apparently, all my faves are just sleepy boys. They released a debut album. It's called Afterglow, and I went on a little road trip out of town this weekend. So I was playing their album start to finish, and I pretty much downloaded like 6 of their songs off of that album.
Mm-hmm.
I even sent 2 of those songs to you, and I was like, "Hey, you have to listen to these."
Absolutely.
What'd you think?
They were awesome. I actually loved them. The first one you sent to me was probably my favorite, which was
Gravity.
Gravity. Yeah, that one was a beautiful song.
Yep, and my favorite is probably Afterglow, which is the name of the album. I just love the melody in that song, and I think
Mm-hmm.
his voice is just to die for. Insert audio clip here. Pair an angelic voice with heavy metal rock, and to me, you can do no wrong. So
Absolutely.
that is my fave of the week, and I'll throw it over to you.
I think it's kind of funny that we were both on a rock kick this week. And maybe it's because of us just sharing music together, like to each other. It kind of just like puts it in our head. But my favorite this week was a song called Serotonin by La Lion. It's a very, I'll have to show it to you after this, but it's very hardcore, like loud, but like very fast paced rock. So it's really, I don't know, it's really cool. And then another one is I actually found this one off of TikTok. It was a nail transition video that a girl did, and the nails were like crazy. They're like green, like Invader Zim. Think Invader Zim, but like that was the brand of nails. But the
Mhm.
song that they used for it is called I'm a Metalhead Bitch, and it's a new and upcoming artist, and his name is Kill Carl, and I'm pretty sure he's more famous on TikTok than anything, but he does like regular singing, and then all of a sudden it turns to screamo rock, and then it goes back to regular singing, and then back to the screamo. It is a very cool blend of music. So those have been my two like favorites right now that I've just been blaring in the car. Insert audio clip here.
And if you don't know, well, here's the sitch. I'm just your friendly neighborhood metalhead. Bitch! I fucking love that shit. Now fucking move that bit. I got a demon to feed, so fucking pissed off. Shit is fucking all that I need. Fuck. I'll fucking do it again.
On top of all the other stuff that I always listen to every day, all day. But those two are absolutely my favorite. Shout out to also Jessie Murph. She released a new song called Blue Strips that's also like really fire. So
A lot of people like Jessie Murph, and
I like a lot of her music.
yeah, she did a collab with Jelly Roll. People
Yes.
really like that. She's
Yes.
done stuff with Morgan Wallen, I think. So
Yes.
yeah, she's really big now.
Yes. This song is like a ode to like I'm doing better without you. Like, you
Hmm.
know. So it's like, ooh, it's a really good like kind of like bad girl energy, like, oh, okay, you're getting your energy back. So really good song, really good song.
And just to transition a little bit, are you watching any must talk about TV shows right now? I'm watching two, The
Mm,
Last of Us and The Handmaid's Tale. I don't know if you've seen either one of them, but The Last of Us is based off of the video game.
mm-hmm.
I think I saw you playing that at one point.
I've actually only watched people play that. I've actually never played that. So, but I have seen it on sale and stuff and thought about buying it. That's just not really my type of game, if that makes sense.
Really?
It's like story based, so you go through like a storyline where it's not that I'm not into those games. I'm not into them playing them. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I'll watch someone play. If you played it, I'd come in here and watch you play it all the time. I just have no want to play it
gotcha.
type of vibe.
See, I thought you would be interested because it has zombies in it. So,
Yeah, that makes sense though. I've never actually looked into it though, so who knows? I might actually like. And now that I've gotten older, my games have also changed, so I've never even like tried to even look into maybe if I would like it. So I might have to give it a try. But is the series good?
the series is really good, and it has Pedro Pascal in it, which
Yes.
I love him,
Uh-huh.
and I hope
Everyone
one
does.
day he comes out as gay because I would love to have him on our team.
I love that.
But the one I know that you would really like is The Handmaid's Tale
Yeah.
because that is all about femininity and women's rights and empowerment. That show gets my blood boiling every time, and especially watching it from season 1 until now, it is just wild. And it's based off of a book, and so they have a lot of ways they could go with it, but you would love it because it is basically just like women being forced to basically be child bearers for
Mm-hmm.
men in this new America that they've created.
Mm-hmm.
And the women basically start getting revenge and trying to break out of that and become their own people again and also get all of their children back.
Mm. I think the only reason why I haven't watched that yet is because, well, mainly because of my job and the fact of seeing everything in the world right now. And of course, a lot of people, honestly, in the comments of like TikTok videos and stuff like that, they're like, this is the modern day Handmaid's Tale. Like, we're living through that. And that's the only reason why I haven't watched it, is because you know my brain.
Mm-hmm.
You know how bad I can spiral, and I'm too afraid. It's kind of like also that movie Smile. I don't want to see the movie Smile because I've heard it's a very big psychological, like, mental thing, and like I can spiral very easily sometimes and not have control of my own brain to pull me out of those, like, going off of the ledge, so theories, I guess. So
Yeah.
that's the only reason why I haven't like watched it. Not that I don't want to, it does pique my interest. I have seen numerous of reviews that it's good. It's just I'm not mentally strong enough yet for it, if that makes sense. And I know one day I will be, because there's a lot of movies and shows that I never thought I'd be able to watch that I've watched now that I'm like, okay, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Those two are just a little still. I'm like, I'll wait a little bit until it all dies down, essentially, to where
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't feel as, oh, this is real life. Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, this is real type vibe. I am watching at the moment, which is crazy because I don't normally watch things. I have not been big into TV, but here recently I have been. I'm currently on The Vampire Diaries, my first time running through Vampire Diaries, which I am obsessed with right now. There's 8 seasons. I'm on season 5, and I literally started it like 2 weeks ago.
I know.
So I'm powering through episodes, but it like helps because I make nails and stuff. So when I'm making nails, I just sit in there and power through episodes while I'm making nails.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, I mean, I guess I'm just watching movies too. I just recently watched the new movie Sinners with Michael B. Jordan and Haley Steinfeld.
Okay, well, that's also vampires.
Yes, I'm on the vampire kick. You know, Twilight always is going to be at the top, but then we've got all these that I'm like introducing myself into. But Sinners was really good. Definitely recommend. The soundtracks for Sinners was amazing. I think I cried through every song, honestly, just because you know me and music. I love music, so it was just beautiful. But the movie is really good. So definitely go check that one out. It's a different take on vampires.
I definitely will check that out because I love vampires.
Yep.
Obviously, fell in love with him as soon as Stephanie Myers wrote Twilight. I was Team Edward
Hmm.
for most of it, and then I think at one point I switched up and became Team Jacob.
I think we all did at one point.
Yeah, like you learn to love both of them.
Edward made us fall in love with Jacob a little bit by leaving. Like,
Right.
you gave us that opportunity to find the softness in the wolf in him. And yeah, babe, that's hot. So of course we're gonna fall in love with that aspect of him. But of course Edward is like, the best.
He's dangerous.
Yep,
It's like you're playing with fire with that one,
exactly.
but you still have Jacob over there who's just like the warm, cuddly one, and he just wants to protect and attack and get cheese snacks.
The cheese tags for the
Cheese tax.
cheese tags for the pup.
Uh-huh.
I love that. Okay, so you mentioned earlier that you had a little road trip to Houston. How did that go? What was that like? What'd you go do? I mean, I know what you did, obviously, but we got to tell the people. Gotta let the
Right.
people know what you did.
Yep. So over the weekend, I traveled to Houston to see family.
Mm-hmm.
This is my older brother and his family. My older brother is like twice as old as me, so
I was about to say,
he's
when we say older brother, hold on. We need to clarify this because not a lot of family dynamics are like this, where the age difference is so severe. Like, and not severe, but drastic.
right.
Mine and my sister's is 7 years, which is kind of normal, I feel like, for most siblings. Yours and your brother's is
Many years.
many years, is a good way to put it.
My mom had him when she was 16,
Okay.
and my mom had me when she was like 32.
Sheesh.
So, yeah, big age gap there. A lot of people are dumbfounded when I tell them how old my older brother is. But we share a mom, we don't share a dad, so he is a half brother, but I've never really felt like that. I've always just considered him my brother. But yeah, went down there to visit them. They had a whole thing going on. My baby niece was graduating high school, and I just spent the weekend with them, and it was crazy. Like I this was the second time I had seen them in 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
and prior to seeing them 2 years ago, I hadn't seen them in over 10 years.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of a big shock to kind of be around them again.
Yeah.
We kind of picked up where we left off, you know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Of
So
course.
it wasn't awkward or anything, but you do kind of have those reservations, like you don't
Mm-hmm.
know how much people have changed since you've last seen them. But they're doing great. My brother is such an awesome guy. He was always very like straight and narrow, which is not a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
He clearly paved a way for himself, and he is successful and intelligent, and his family is beautiful and gorgeous, and love everything about them and their little life. But what shocked the hell out of me was seeing my straight-laced brother walk out of the house with a sleeve of tattoos.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And remember me being nervous because I had gotten even more tattoos since the last time I saw them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So here I am all
And so did
nervous.
Big Brother.
Exactly. So here comes my brother walking out with all these tattoos, and on top of that, half the size that he was the last time I saw him. My brother is 6'3", and he's always been a big dude.
Mm-hmm.
He is now half that size. So
Wow.
he's like skinny mini now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So just a lot of things have changed for him, and his wife is saying it's like a midlife crisis. I'm blaming it on becoming empty nesters. Like
Probably.
I told her, I was like, it's not a midlife crisis. I think really he's just aging in reverse. I was
Yeah.
like, because he's always been the type that was very hip and cool, and
Mm-hmm.
all my friends when I was younger wanted to hang around me because I had the cool older father figure.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, he's just living his best life, and I'm loving it.
I love that.
Yeah, I'm loving it for him. I'm loving it for his kids. They obviously think he's the coolest dad ever. And
I love that too. That's
but
awesome.
yeah, so anyways, to go into like what you said earlier, family dynamics.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. What a story I have with that. And I won't get into everything,
Of
but
course.
this is the brother that basically took custody of me when I was 9 years old,
Mhm.
and I lived with them, meaning him and his wife, until the age of 17.
Mhm.
So he practically raised me,
Mhm.
and so did his wife. And I went from literally living in cars and being homeless, and my mom stealing cereal from the store so that we had something to eat that night, to moving in with my brother and his wife and having everything a child could possibly want or ever need.
Mhm.
So, one, love him for that. Will always cherish him and be thankful for that. But just the dynamic was so crazy, switching from going from nothing to having everything.
Well, I think
Just
it's cool. Sorry, I'm gonna interrupt just for
no.
a second, so you can also elaborate on this part. I think it's cool that you're getting to. So you saw your brother as a brother, obviously, for a bit, but then you saw him as a father figure in a way whenever he took custody of you. And now, as an adult, you're getting to experience him as a brother again. Like, you're getting to now know him as a brother. You're getting to learn him as an adult. Like, y'all are getting to know each other as adult brothers rather than him still being that parental figure essentially in your life. And I think that's a really cool thing to like go through because I feel like for a while, since I've known you for so long, you know what I mean? We've had the conversations of your brother and y'all's relationship and how you've always wanted this relationship, this type of relationship with him. You've always wanted to be close to him and know him in his life. And so it's really cool to like actually see that develop in the real time because it's like, wow, like you're getting to meet a whole new human that you don't even know, but like you do. Like y'all have so much background together but you also still don't know each other. Like you're literally learning about a new person, but yet he's your brother. Like that's so cool.
Right. He's still the same person he's always been. He's
Hmm.
just, like you said, he went from being a brother to a father to a friend.
Yep.
So it's really cool because like now he gets to just be my friend.
Like you have a brother. Like that's so cool.
Right.
Like I've always had my sister and we've always talked about my sister. We've always hung out with my sister and like she's always been my sister and so it's cool like now to talk to you like you have a brother, you have a sibling, you have a like
Hmm.
there's someone else in this life that also went through the hell you went through. But also, you know, came out on the other side and y'all are both thriving and successful and doing wonderful.
Right. We actually have like a lot in common when when you think about it like that, because he also went through
Mhm.
hell and back as a kid, and then
Mhm.
made something of himself. And he's my hero, and I tell him that all the time. I'm like, you are literally my hero. You are the definition of what it
Mhm.
means to be a man.
Mhm.
And I love that I'm getting to have this time with them again, and that I have been kind of invited back into their lives, and everything is going great. And I'm just
I love
happy
that.
and excited and elated. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I love talking about him. Like, it's like that weird, like, you just don't want to stop talking about your hero. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no, for sure.
And so that's what he is to me. And but yeah, that was my weekend. I had a blast. I had a great time.
I love that.
We had lots of discussions about tattoos, and all of the tattoos he's planning on getting.
Oh, well, that's exciting.
Yeah, he's dropped some
Even better.
serious money on it, and he's talking about like he wants like a whole leg tattoo. He
Yes.
wants to finish his sleeve. He wants to get the other arm, the chest, the back. I'm like,
I
my
love it.
lord.
I love it.
Well, and now my nephew, the one who is in college,
Uh-huh.
he has tattoos too.
Yep.
So
We're here for it. A whole family of them. I love
yeah,
it.
I love
We
the
welcome all
dynamic.
the tattoos. We
Mm-hmm.
love tattoos.
Yeah, and my mom, she has tattoos. So yeah,
Yeah.
tattoo family.
My family is the only one that's like, I feel like that's so against it. Me and my sister are full of tattoos, and then you have the rest of my family that is like,
Yeah, and then every
don't put a mark on your body. Don't
right.
color your hair weird color. Don't put piercings in your face.
And every time you add a new one, you get that little look from your mom.
Oh, absolutely. The most recent ones were the ones that really got our eyes. Were, you know, tattooing your hands is a very, very fun thing to do if you have parents that don't like tattoos. Because it will definitely open up all of the questions
Yeah. Well, they've always had lots of questions
and opinions.
and
But I think that's
opinions.
where I get that from. Obviously, I was raised around it. That was the environment I was in my whole life. So it's made me a very strong, opinionated, and question oriented person. I ask questions at everything, my job, with people, with friends, like in relationships. I'm a very interested creature of nature.
Mhm.
I like to learn about so many different things. So who knows? Maybe that is why I get that, or where I get that from, is from what I was raised in.
And your parents, they're great people. Love your parents. I commend them on bringing you two girls up, and you guys turned out great and everything. But they are different in ways that I've never really experienced because I have my mom who's wild, crazy, has done everything under the sun. Then I have my brother's side of the family, which is very straight-laced and they walk a fine line and, they have a set of morals and all that stuff. And then there's your family, which they're a combination of both, kind of,
Mm-hmm.
but not as crazy. Like, you do have crazy family members,
Yes,
but your parents are more like, they're not super strict, but they're also not too lenient either.
absolutely.
So, I don't know. You've talked about how, like, growing up, it was just hard
I
to.
was so growing up, I was the kid that it's so funny because my mom and dad would probably deny all of this. But I was the kid that I'm sure you've seen the meme, everybody's seen the meme, or even the thing that people say when they're like, if you invite me over, the answer is already no. Like my mom already said no. That was me growing. I was that kid. If my friends asked me to go do something, the answer was automatically no. Like it didn't matter if it was you were asking me right then. My answer immediately no. And they'd be like, "You didn't even ask. I don't have to ask." My parents did not let me out of their sight. I spent all of my time with my parents. And I feel like that is a lot of the reason also why I am the way I am on, like, I don't hang out with my parents as much now as an adult. And I feel bad and I know that they harp on me a lot for that. But I feel like a lot of it was because in my childhood I was so far up their ass that I didn't have any time to be away from them. And not that I shouldn't be around them now, but it's just the fact of like now I'm just at home and in my own little space that I don't even think of like, oh, I should probably go fart around my parents for a bit and see what they're doing or fuck around with them. So, yeah, growing up was a lot different for me because I was constantly with my parents and that was everywhere. I mean, my parents would go to their friend's house and I was there. I went everywhere with them, like literally stuck to the hip. And a lot of it also was probably because I was the only kid around because my sister was by the time I was 7, and able to do things with them, my sister's now 14 and she was off doing her own stuff and not even doing her own stuff because once again, our parents didn't let us do things. So she was either in sports, so she was out of practice for sports, out of practice for band because she was a violin player in high school. So she was doing that, or she was at some other extracurricular. If we wanted to be away from our parents, we had to do extracurricular events. My extracurricular event in high school and all that was church. I was very involved in the church, and that got me away from my parents all the time. And so that is what I took interest in because I knew that I could at least get away for a bit. And not that I needed to.
Which is insane because in church is where you met some of the most messed up characters of your life.
Delete that. If I could delete an era of time, and this is no hate to people that go to church, this is no hate to the church, but where I grew up, where I lived, the people that were in that area in that time frame, if I could delete an era of time, it would definitely be that because out of that caused so much more chaos that has ensued in my life. I have stories of chaos and crazy. So
I've heard the stories, and I know that we could have episodes on that alone, and we probably will. We'll get into religion and how that affects your life, changes your life.
one day for sure.
Exactly. Well, I love the fact that your family was so adamant or, pushed you to join the church. That's great because I wish like my mother would have been a churchgoer and pushed me in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
My mother could have used some church, let's be honest. She needed Jesus a long time ago. Um, I actually think my father probably met Jesus at one point, especially that
At the
time
hands of your mother?
at the hands of my mother.
Oh, okay.
Especially the one time that my mom stabbed my father with a envelope opener. It was a metal one, but literally stabbed him through the palm of his hand and stuck him to the kitchen table.
Queen! I'm sure I'm not supposed to like support this anywhere, but like, I'm sure knowing your mother, I know she had good reason.
My father deserved it.
Okay, well, period, Queen.
Yeah, we'll go into that whole deep dive, but like my biological father is an absolute piece of shit
Oh,
who deserved every bad thing that ever happened to him in his life.
oh goodness, that is
But yeah, that was just one of the many things that I've witnessed in my childhood, which,
absolutely.
you know, how many times in your life do you watch your mom stab your dad?
Oh, goodness gracious. I think a really cool thing also about family is the fact that it doesn't always have to be biological. It can also be chosen. It can be someone that was just randomly brought into your life, kind of how you were for me in high school. I mean, we met in was I was a junior, you were a sophomore?
I think I was a junior too.
Oh, maybe
And you were a senior?
I was a senior. Yes. Okay, so I was a senior, you were a junior. That was so long ago, so it's kind of hard to remember. But I mean, we knew each other as strangers, and even then we didn't really know each other. It's the fact that we've grown into family essentially. Like I could not imagine this life now without you in it because of how much we've done for each other, but also been through with each other.
Yeah. Well, had I never asked you for a ride to the bus station
To literally disappear for 5 years,
and then show back up randomly on my first day of work,
and there I am in the hallway. What a crazy story, too.
that's crazy.
That's serendipity.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about that.
We haven't.
So
How
that's
our
like,
paths cross in different many ways.
yeah, stars aligning, whatever you want to call it.
Absolutely.
Or that could just be the power of this black hole city that we live in.
Oh, I've always said that this town is a black hole and you always get sucked back in. So
But we're the light beaming out of the middle of that black hole.
truly, like truly, there are a couple of us in here that are like mustering up all the power we've got left in this body to push out the seal and make it happen. But here we are still.
Here we are, and yep, we are closer than ever. And yeah, you have literally become chosen family. You are found family. And being gay, people talk about like having chosen family a lot
Mhm.
because a lot of gay people go through losing their family in the process of coming out and stuff. And
Mhm.
I didn't really experience that like some people did. Yes, I kind of lost communication with family at one point, but it has since been regenerated and now I have a good relationship with my family. So I'm really thankful for that. But in that time where I kind of was floating in the void and didn't really have the family like I wanted, you definitely help fill that space. And so thankful for you. And now we have a podcast together and we live together and we've been roommates for 10 years and we've worked at all the same jobs together.
Period.
When they fired you or when you quit, I was the next one putting in my 2 weeks notice.
I'll never forget that. You really did quit. So many memories we have literally made together in this short amount of time. Like, because if you think about it, it hasn't really been that long. Like, 10 years, yeah, everybody would probably be like, wow, that is a long time. But it's really not when we think about all of the things that we've done in these 10 years. There's been so much.
Right. We should have named the podcast Two Lifetimes.
10 years and counting.
Life on Parole.
Oh my God.
Death
You're not
row.
ready for this. Because we weren't either.
All right, that's going to do it for this week's episode of Delete That, where healing met hot takes and somehow we still managed to overshare.
Honestly, if we didn't toe the line between therapy and mess, would it really even be us?
Facts. We talked about family drama, stabbing your family members, how church affects your personality, and somehow we survived another round of internet nonsense.
What more could you want from an episode of Delete That? But now we want to hear from you. Have you ever had to redefine what family means for you? Drop us a comment below and let us know.
Like always, don't forget to follow, subscribe, and leave a cute little review or message under the video, and share this episode with your favorite emotionally unavailable cousin.
Until next time, remember, if you wouldn't say it to your therapist,
Delete that.
Bam, 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 bam.